endless eyes, I can love you, and you'll realize that your life holds so much in store when you're wanted and loved and adored.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Austin Friends of Traditional Music Online. My name is Gary Mortensen, and we're going to have another interview with an Austin area musician in just a few moments. If you're not familiar with the Austin Friends of Traditional Music, we've been around since 1974, and I went and printed our mission statement today so I could tell you the truth about the organization. And our purpose is to encourage performance and appreciation of traditional music by sponsoring meetings, competitions, workshops, concerts, dances, festivals, and newsletters. And that's what we like to do. However, the pandemic has hit us hard like every other activity you might be involved in. So we aren't having our jams as we usually do, no performances, and perhaps the saddest of all, our wonderful festival normally held in October will not be happening this year. So we're doing what we can do to get by, and if you check out our website, aftm.us, you'll find our newsletter, which is called Real Times, which has some information that might be of interest. Chip Bach has produced a wonderful article about online activities for the isolated musician, and there are links to song circles and other musical activities there, so we can keep picking one way or another. And one woman who is still picking one way or another, I'm pretty sure, is our guest tonight, and that would be Rose Griffith. Rose, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing good.
Good to talk to you. I don't think I have seen your image since this whole nonsense started several months ago, but it is great to see you and talk to you. Rose is an Austin area singer, and I think it's true, isn't it, Rose, that you are a longtime Austin resident?
Yes, actually, I was born in Austin, so I've lived here my whole life.
Yeah. So unlike the rest of us who were born elsewhere but got here as soon as we could, you were here from the beginning.
Yes.
And grew up in what seems to me to be a pretty musical family. Is that a pretty accurate assessment of your family situation?
Yes. Both my parents have played music for a very long time. They're part of a band, a local old-time string band called the Double Eagle. So I grew up hearing them play actually in this living room behind me. Mm-hmm. And they would get together every Tuesday for band practice, and I would often sing with them.
Yeah. What are some of your earliest memories of music around the house? I suppose the Double Eagle Band rehearsing would be one of them.
Definitely. On a different vein, though, there was always a lot of Steve Earle, a lot of the Byrds in the band, along with the old-time music.
And I think you said you would like to sing along with them from an early age. Is that right?
Yes. I think I started singing when I was 4 or 5, and they were already playing as a band, so I was kind of steeped in it from the start.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of the songs you might have sung like in the earliest days? Can you remember what tunes you like to do?
I think the first song that I ever learned it was called "Don't Sell Daddy Any More Whiskey."
A beautiful, touching number, and
yes.
I'm sure your father loved to hear that
one. Actually, the first song I ever learned. Now, that was the first song I ever learned in English. The first song I ever learned was "Je passe devant ta porte." It's in Cajun French. And according to the stories, I don't actually remember this. I walked into the dining room and I had heard my dad singing it, and I just said, I want to learn that.
Wow. So your career started in French, and I think you're pretty fluent in Spanish at this time. Isn't that true?
No, I would say that's an exaggeration. I know some very basic Spanish, but I would say that it would have to be a very, very slow conversation.
Mm-hmm. And you are gainfully employed and contributing to our society. Can you tell us a little bit about what your day job is?
I'm a kindergarten teacher in Austin ISD, which is our school district. This is actually only my second year as a full teacher, but I've been a substitute and a teacher's assistant as well.
Mm-hmm. So you are contributing to our society, and I suppose this year with the pandemic, it's a whole different situation than what you were used to last year.
Definitely. We are all getting used to the idea of being virtual for 4 weeks. We're going to be teaching on the computer.
Yes. Well, you're very at ease in front of the computer, Rose. It's your experience shows. When did you start performing in public with your parents or with anybody else?
So my first performance was when I was 8, I believe, and it was at a bluegrass festival in Zilker Park. And I was actually performing not with the old time string band, but with my dad's bluegrass band at the time.
Yeah. So your family did, as you said, was interested in many different types of music. It wasn't just strictly an old time household.
No, I grew up listening to and singing country music and bluegrass and some old time as well.
Yeah. And I think your instrument of choice is the guitar. Is that right?
Yes, part of that was that my dad always played guitar. And so it seemed natural for me to start picking up the guitar. And it's a very good way to back up vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been mostly a singer.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm a host of the Strictly Bluegrass show on Co-op Radio, and I just submitted my program for this Sunday, and it features all kinds of great duet singing. And I know I've heard you doing wonderful duets with your father, for one thing, but with others as well. Who are some of the other people in Austin that you've sung with over the years?
Well, we have a lot of really good friends. I've had the opportunity to sing duets with Elizabeth Pittman, and I've sung with our friend Tim Wilson, and I believe I've sung duets with you as well.
I think so. It's the highlight of my career for sure.
And of course, when I go to Washington State usually every summer to visit our good friends, Laurel Bliss and John Clark. And so I've sung a lot of duets with Laurel Bliss and also with others at a music festival that I go to with her called VoiceWorks.
Yeah, I've heard of that. What kind of an experience is VoiceWorks?
It's pretty incredible. You go to Fort Worden, which is in Port Townsend, Washington, and you spend a week doing almost nothing but singing. You can stay in dorms or houses, little, it's kind of like a 4-person suite almost, or there's a camping area. And you're basically immersed in all different types of singing for a few days.
Uh-huh.
And it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And many different styles of singing are represented?
Yes. Let's see. Over the years, I've had some experience with Balkan singing.
Wow.
Some African singing. Irish, definitely country and bluegrass. Let's see. Danish.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the standouts
Yeah.
that I can think of at the moment.
And Laurel Bliss, who you mentioned, wonderful singer and dobro player, is she on the faculty of that event sometimes?
She taught on the faculty for years.
Uh-huh.
And actually, she's the one that got me into going to VoiceWorks. And now they've started a program there called the Singing Pals. And for the past couple of years, she's been a singing pal. And they help sort of encourage jams. They'll do one-on-one sessions with participants. They help other teachers teach their classes. Basically, they add a bunch of the fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that does sound quite great. And if I'm not mistaken, you are one of the recipients of the AFTM scholarship. Isn't that true?
Yes, I was. And actually, that scholarship took me to another fantastic festival. I went to Swannanoa on that scholarship. And it was one of the most intensely musical experiences I've ever had in my life. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing some kind of music going on. I feel like even like during meal times, there would be people off having jams or practicing for a show. There was square dances every night. The most amazing square dances. I mean, and it was a very rewarding experience.
That sounds so great. And I can just tell our listeners, the AFTM has offered a scholarship to the Swannanoa. What's the proper name of it? Swannanoa is what everybody calls it. Music event.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah. But we can't do that this year because they're not holding the event due to the pandemic. So what the AFTM has done for this year is we're offering $200 scholarships for individuals to take up online learning with any reputable teacher of voice or any instrument that you might be interested in traditional music. And it's for people under 30 years of age. And if you are interested, go to our website, aftm.us. We're still accepting applications for that. One woman in Austin, Sella Brindle Roberts, has already won one of the scholarships, and she's pursuing that right now. So check that out. If you're under 30 and have an interest in pursuing any kind of traditional music, AFTM would like to help you. And hopefully next year, if things are back to normal, we'll be offering the Swannanoa scholarship again. Well, keep our fingers crossed, because as Rose says, that's a fantastic event. I've never heard anything about it except just rave reviews. I asked you earlier if you might consider favoring us with a song at the end of the interview, and you consented that you would. That's really very kind of you. Would you like to sing a song for us?
Sure. Well, I think, as we mentioned before the interview, that apartment number 9 may be my only solo. So I'm going to take a risk and try to perform that for you now.
Oh, great. This is a wonderful song. And let's listen to Rose Griffith with Tammy Wynette's hit, Apartment Number 9.
Just follow the stairway away to this lonely world of mine. You'll find me waiting here in apartment number 9. Not so very long ago, you walked away from me, and after all the plans we made, you decided to be free. Loneliness surrounds me without your arms keep waiting in this lonely room, just in case you change your mind. You'll find me waiting here in apartment number 9. Loneliness surrounds me without your arms around me, and the sun will never shine in apartment number 9. No, the sun will never shine in apartment number 9.
Wonderful, Rose. I love that song. I love the way you sing it. Haven't I heard you do that song with that wonderful band Rosebud?
I believe you have.
We didn't mention that, one of your many musical ensembles that is on hiatus right now, as is just about every other band in Austin or anywhere else. Well, Rose, it's been great seeing you again. I certainly enjoy it when I get to see you in real life, and now we can say we had a virtual conversation, but thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us tonight. I know you're a big supporter of the AFTM, a big participant in our festival every October. And
I'll be missing it this year.
That's true. We're all missing it, but we'll hang in there, and hopefully next year we can do it bigger and better than ever. Well, thanks again, Rose Griffith, and thanks to everyone for watching. My name's Gary Mortensen, and this has been the Austin Friends of Traditional Music Online.
Don't tell Daddy any more whiskey, for I know it will take him away. We all are hungry and Mama is weeping. Don't sell him no whiskey today. I walk through the streets of an old country town, and I stopped at an old whiskey store. I saw a little boy, so cold and so ragged. I stopped and I listened for more. Don't sell Daddy any more whiskey, for I know it will take him away. We all are hungry and Mama is weeping. Don't sell him no whiskey today.